Hi, Scott here, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Masham and at the Theakston's Brewery just outside town, and we've had a little walk around the brewery. We've had 3/3 of their fantastic beer and a little general chat and catch up, which has been very nice here in their little bar. And let's have a little look at what we've been up to. So the town of Masham in North Yorkshire, a very agreeable market town, home of 2 brewers. Theakston, as you can see here, also Black Sheep, and this is quite an oldie worldy brewery. We're going to have a little look at that, as well as some sampling afterwards, which was very pleasant indeed. Let's have a little look at the Theakston's Brewery in Masham. Just off the market square is the brewery, and they've been here since the 1800s. The company itself was founded in 1827. It's been on this site almost as long as that. And here we are going into the visitor centre at the Black Bull in Paradise, the original pub, I believe that's what it was called. And in we go, and I've got this little bit here from the company's YouTube channel, just showing a little bit more stylistically than I can. Home to the world famous Old Peculiar beer, which is certainly one of my favourites, as well as a few others as well. And you're going to briefly see the other beers that they do, and here they are. Blink and you see them. A nice pint, as you can see, quite a traditional brewer. And we're going to see that in a minute as we go into the visitor centre. This is the reception and gift shop, and quite a nice little gift shop, as you'll see. And then from there, you walk through into the bar area, where we were told to wait for our guide. Lovely little bar area. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail later when we're doing a little bit of sampling. Now, Theakston's is a brewery. Of course, it's a manufacturing site, so you have to fill out a health declaration before you go in, just to say that you're not poorly. You also have to wear sensible footwear, as you might expect. And on the company website, it does say what you should wear. And into the bottom floor here, that's all the malt. Past the hop back, as you can see, quite old kit. And it's a tower brewery, so we have to go up to the top floor to start with, and have a look at how this gravity-fed brewery is designed. And it is the malt grinders at the top there, and then the lady talked us through some of the ingredients that are used in brewing. Number one is water, and they get that from their own well. After that, malt. Now, malt is barley, which has been germinated and then roasted to various degrees. If it is a lighter roast like that, that is good for sort of paler beers, lagers, that sort of thing. A darker roasted beer such as that is used for darker beers. Of course, most have a combination to give you different depths of flavour. Hops, of course, give bitterness and aroma, and also preservatives, and then yeast gets the whole thing going by starting the fermentation off. And we were able to taste and smell some of the ingredients, so we really understood what the backbone of the beer was. The mash tun is where all of those ingredients go, or principally the water and the malt, in order to stew effectively, and then into the copper to boil it off, and hops are added there as well. Now, they said this was the only mash tun that Theakston's has ever had, so every single pint of Theakston's brewed at Masham has come from that mash tun. So we went downstairs, like the liquids in those various vessels go downstairs. So obviously feeding from the mash tun down to the copper, and then down to the fermenter that we're going to see in just a moment. The bottoms of the vessels there you can see in front of us as we go further downstairs. That's the hop back, where the mash tun dispenses the wort from that pipe there, and the hops are recovered, and then into the fermenters. Now, this is where the magic really happens, where the beers have yeast added to them, and that's where it ferments and actually makes the beer. As you can see, this looks rather Heath Robinson. I was quite surprised, but it seems to work pretty well. And then finally into the tanks there on the left hand side for racking, where the beer is then put into casks so it can be sent out to pubs. And then it was back out to the yard. I suppose 45 minutes ish was the tour, and then back out to the yard, where you'll see lots of casks, empty casks and chemicals and the like. Guy taking a photograph of the drayman there. He seemed to pose quite nicely, didn't he? Wooden casks there on the left hand side, and then back into the rather nice gift shop and bar. Principally bar was on our minds now. Certainly that had whetted our whistles to try some of their lovely beer. And including the £15 cost of the tour is either a pint, so I suppose 2 halves, or 3/3 of the Theakston's beer. You can choose what you want. So what's your favourite one, Stu?
I've only tried the mild yet.
Yeah. What's the mild like?
It's nice. You can try it.
Yeah, well, actually.
4%. But it's quite nice.
I think you're right to drink that one first, but I think that's a much milder taste.
You're okay.
You get confused though, don't you?
And Dad, you think they really mostly taste the same, don't they?
I do actually. I've got a very good palate.
You do like John Smith's, don't you?
Don't say that.
And then they offered us free samples of their distilled spirit, which is distilled Old Peculiar beer.
What's it like?
Theakston is one of the few breweries that still has its own coopers, and the workshop is there just off the bar for you to have a little look in. That was very interesting indeed. Apparently it takes 4 years to become a fully qualified cooper. And then you can also look in the cellar as well, which looked very clean and tidy. That's where the beer is kept in great condition for the bar. And then we went into the gift shop. Now, if you like Theakston's, this really is the place for you. Not only can you buy their beer, but there's a selection of other Theakston's merchandise. There's bar paraphernalia, more beer there, as you can see. Lots of T-shirts. If you like T-shirts, if you like anything to do with Theakston, this really is the place for you. But Dad kindly bought us all a glass, which was very nice, and he bought himself some chutney as well. After that, to the King's Head in the centre of town for some lunch and a little bit more of the good stuff, as you can see in just a moment. There it is. I had a steak sandwich. Anyway, hope that's been of some interest to you. Do give Theakston's a go. Really good trip out to Masham, a lovely little town. And as ever, thanks very much for watching. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, I'd be very grateful if you could like this video and hit that notification bell. If you do that, you'll continue to receive lots more rubbish just like this.